The frustration that Jimmy displayed. Cornpop. I'm not going to read the rest of it. It's about me.
Behold, pale horse. I'd pay $5 to see Jimmy Dore body slam a disagreeable guest. Just saying. LOL.
What the fuck?
Kamala Harris is doing the hard-hitting interviews. She went on Howard Stern. Howard Stern, who is not even a shadow of his former self. He's the inverse of his former self. He's like having Howdy Doody host a radio show. So let's watch this.
When you ran for Senate, it was bittersweet, right? You won, which is great.
It was bittersweet. No, Howard, it was Cool Ranch. Anyway, here we go.
But you said I ate a whole bag of Doritos that night. That's your thing, Doritos?
Oh, I love Doritos. Original nacho. But let me just tell you, it was a family-sized bag.
Wow.
Boy, that proves she's just like us. She eats Doritos. She's just like us. Isn't that something? And by the way, no adult finishes a complete family-sized bag of Doritos unless something has gone horribly wrong in their life.
Well, she won a Senate campaign. This is like that Simpsons where there was a Howard Stern, like a cartoon Simpsons Howard Stern interviewing Mr. Burns. And Mr. Burns goes, "Okay, I know you're tough. Ask me anything you want about my legendary love of cashews." That's literally Howard Stern is a Simpsons parody, except the Simpsons parody made fart sounds over him when he started talking, which is what Howard should have done.
Let's watch it all. I'll give you, it's a minute and 17 seconds. Let's watch it all the way through.
When you ran for Senate, it was bittersweet, right? You won, which is great. But you said I ate a whole bag of Doritos that night. That's your thing, Doritos?
Oh, I love Doritos. Original nacho. But let me just tell you, it was a family-sized bag.
Wow.
I sat on the couch.
But you're in good shape. Are you like
I work out every morning.
Did you work out this morning?
I did.
Where did you work out?
On the elliptical at the hotel.
Oh, they bring one up to your room?
Yeah.
Nice. How long do you go on the elliptical?
Half an hour to 45 minutes.
You're not bored out of your skull on that thing?
I'm watching a variety of things. That's how I catch
Morning
up.
Joe?
Yeah.
He's
sometimes.
something, huh?
Yeah.
He's Morning Joe.
Uh-huh.
I love that guy.
I do too.
He loves Morning Joe.
Yeah.
A former Republican.
Yes.
He can't vote in his own
but
party.
He loves our country. I don't agree with him on every issue, but
she was like stumped when he asked, "What do you watch?" Did you notice? I watch some things.
Oh.
She was stumped. She didn't know what she was
probably
going to
watches
talk about.
a reel of flashing red and green programming lights is what I imagine.
I think the most important at this moment for sure.
Why are you eating for breakfast Raisin Bran, I read? I feel that's not, for someone who's healthy.
Be careful. You're eating Raisin Bran. You're already so full of shit. I'm just warning you. You don't need any more bran.
Why Raisin Bran? There's a lot of sugar.
Well, no. So I don't eat Raisin Bran every morning. But if you asked me what was my favorite cereal, I would put it right up there with, okay, now this is going to be obnoxious, and Special K.
Special K is...
Oh, Special K. You mean K for Kamala. What isn't about you? Honestly, why don't you just sprinkle some sugar on yourself, pour a bathtub full of milk, and then eat yourself?
Well, it's really great.
It's really great. I want to see her. I want to see
when
her
you
stumble.
ran for Senate, it was bittersweet, right? You won, which is great. But you said I ate a whole bag of Doritos that night. That's your thing, Doritos?
Oh,
That's bittersweet? Oh, okay, I won the race, but here's the downside, Jimmy. I ate a whole bag of Dorito. What? What on earth is he talking about?
Doritos, original nacho. But let me just tell you, it was a family-sized bag.
Wow.
I sat on the couch.
But you're in good shape. Are you like
I work out every morning.
Did you work out this morning?
I did.
Where did you work out?
Is this an ad?
On the elliptical at the hotel.
Oh, they bring one up to your room?
Yeah.
Nice. How long do you go on the elliptical?
Half an hour to 45 minutes.
You're not bored out of your skull on that thing?
I'm watching a variety of things. That's how I catch
Morning
up.
Joe?
He's
something, huh?
Yeah.
That Morning Joe.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
He's something, huh? That Morning Joe. What? How about that Bull Connor, huh? I love that. Oh, my God. What is... So, Maddox Sports says he's on the Diddy freak-off party list. He's doing his best to stay out of jail. That's why...
Howard's a germaphobe.
I wouldn't doubt at all.
You don't think Howard's at the Diddy party going, what? I'm leaving, no one's wearing a mask?
I'm not... So here's what I said. Howard Stern is the thing he used to make fun of. You wouldn't have to change a word of that interview if you were doing a sketch to make fun of how lame he's become. It's stunning. Those are like, if I was going to write a comedy sketch about how lame he would interview her, those are the things I would write for him to say. That's what Mike McRae would write for. That's what Kurt would write. But no one has to write it for him. He's that lame. He's a walking comedy sketch. And if there's anyone who still listens to Howard Stern, how lame are you?
No one does, Jimmy. It's a pyramid scheme with satellite radio. It's like the only thing keeping it afloat. Rogan told me how it works. The satellite.
How does it
people
work?
Aren't listening.
How does it work?
Kind of thing where it's like automatically installed in cars or something. Dude, he doesn't really have the listeners anymore.
Who listens to satellite radio in their car? Everybody just has their phone.
There's
and it
some kind of
Bluetooths right to
scam.
their thing.
I know. I don't remember the specifics, but there's some kind of pyramid scheme scam that's keeping it afloat. Okay. And so look, you could see it's a thing no one would want to watch. This is like something that I wouldn't even put on. Like, I'd rather see Mario Lopez in my hotel room telling me about fun stuff to do on the digital.
Who would watch this? Who would listen to this?
No one. No one does. It's like Morning Joe. They all just watch each other. And I don't even think they watch each other. I think it's all just a lie.
I'm not exaggerating when I said that Howard Stern did more interesting interviews with that Beetlejuice character.
Yeah, Beetlejuice was.
And by the way, Beetlejuice could eat a whole bag of Doritos.
And he could make it interesting.
The irony is, this is the most coherent Kamala Harris has ever been. This is the kind of level of questions that
she answered the questions.
Keep it about Doritos and cereal, and she answers the questions. She's now like an episode of Seinfeld, and she's a candidate about nothing.
Yeah, Seinfeld cares about cereal in his comedy. I mean, in fairness, he does comedy, but this is like, I want to do a candidate about nothing. That's the whole.
So here's what some Stranger by the Hour podcast says. Fact check. Story is missing context. If a woman her size ate a family-sized bag of Nacho Doritos in one sitting, she would shit her pants 3/4 of the way through the bag. This detail was omitted. She probably did. She probably did shit herself, but Howard Stern's not going to ask her that tough question.
Yeah, it's more of a 60 Minutes thing.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a second.
Do you think they had to edit anything out of this interview?
So
when she does eat Raisin Bran?
Yeah. So here's Howard Stern. They tweet this out, and they block replies.
Well, that's how you know it's a hot one. Oh, 1,000
they block
likes.
replies. They block replies.
Almost 200,000 views and almost 2,000 likes.
And here's Howard Stern subconsciously warning us with a hand signal that Kamala Harris is going to lose. That's what that is. And by the way, I think that the next time they do an interview, they should trade wigs.
Howard's got the same Jerry curl from Pulp Fiction that Samuel Jackson had.
There's no way that's his hair, and he's wearing a wig. And that, I'd wear a wig if I had to.
This is like Roald Dahl's The Witches, like that. When there's story Angelica Houston. He looks like Angelica Houston is a witch.
So there's no difference between this and the mid-2000s Don Imus. Hey, maybe he's wearing the same wig that Imus used to wear. You ever think of that?
I think he is.
And Imus honestly was way better than this.
And it wasn't that good.
And it wasn't that good, no. But it was still way better than this.
Rob Bartlett did some good voices on it.
I can't believe people listen to this. I never listened to Howard Stern. Ever?
Oh, it used to be great. When I was doing construction, we would listen to it. And it used to be the most fun show, dude. It was insane. We did Holly Weird Squares. We got Gary the R Word, 2 porn stars. The God
he would have 2
F
porn
slurs
stars
people.
on, and they would refer to them as the whores.
Well, they were whores.
They would have 2 porn stars on, and they would refer to them as the whores. They had
they were less big of whores as Kamala.
They had
I think Doritos is a ad. I think she's doing an ad.
They had a KKK guy in the center square. Remember that? They used to have a KKK.
Daniel Carver. And he sounded better on camera than Kamala.
That the black guy from the sales department and Gilbert Gottfried.
And the king of all blacks, Gary the R word. It was an amazing show. And
they had a character on there, and his name was Gary the R word. But he was actually mentally handicapped, right?
Yeah.
And they called him, but they
inclusive,
didn't call him the R word. They used the word.
I know. I really, if I was just talking, I'm going to be honest. I would just use the word. I'm as far as all the sensitive I don't believe in climate change, sensitive language. All these things were lies. And watching this Howard Stern thing, I don't know how that doesn't tell everybody that everything is a sham around you. Just that alone. Asking Kamala Harris about if she eat Doritos. Howard Stern said he read about her that she likes Raisin Bran. How did you manage to Google her or whatever you did?
And that's what came up.
Yeah, he didn't read anything.
Do you know scientists now believe, Kurt, that if Stern keeps producing nothing interviews like this, that he's actually on the verge of discovering antimatter?
He's a lizard person. They've had the technology for thousands of years.
That Howard Stern, when he drooled over Joe Biden, I didn't think he could sink lower. This is even worse.
Okay, Marcy Turk showed up. That's his handler. Her name is Marcy Turk. Already talked about it. Everybody talked about it. All of a sudden, Howard was a completely different guy one day. Howard got onto that show, right? And he had to change his image, and he had a handler. I'm going to help you.
Oh, you mean he got onto America Loves Talent or whatever, America's Talent?
Yeah, America Loves Trafficking Children, and he now he's a different guy.
And now Hillary Clinton. Now people like the vice president feel comfortable going on that show. His show became famous because he would have women doing. He would have prostitutes doing hot dog swallowing contests.
Dude, when you go, now he's the thing he made fun of. I'm like, what? He's a middle-aged ex-porn star in a blue wig sitting on this Sibian? That's what they would sit on a dildo machine in studio. Look, if Hillary Clinton can go on your show, you have a lame-ass show. That's a fact.
Yeah.
You know, you could still have a cool show if Trump goes on it. Or if really anybody, Bernie could go on your show, all kinds of people. But if Hillary's willing to show up at your show, you're a part of the problem. She ain't going to show up otherwise.
I never liked Howard Stern. I'm very proud of myself on that. I never liked him.
Well,
so,
if you don't got to hang sheetrock and listen to something during those hours, then why would you bother?
Yeah.
Once I didn't have a car anymore, then that's when I stopped listening to radio. I would be on radio, but I wasn't driving anywhere. So why would I be listening to it? Sitting in traffic, wanting to run somebody down because you're sitting there angry like everybody is. It's the perfect that's the perfect thing.
All right. We're going to go to Rumble now. And remember, if you want to see the show uninterrupted, without commercials, you go to jimmydore.com, become a member at $10 a month, and it gets you the show media gets put up after the show gets put up in its entirety. You don't have to wait for the clips to come out. A lot of times we don't drop the clips. We cut up a lot of times we cut up stuff and you don't get to see it. So become a member at jimmydore.com. You get access to the Jimmy Dore app, the Jimmy Dore Show app. You also get, which I'm going to start posting at. I got to start posting at there. I should post something every morning. Yeah, I'm going to start doing that. And so go to jimmydore.com and you'll get access to tickets first. By the way, what's that? We have members only shows that we do. We do premium streamiums. So are the tickets up for our show November 1st and November 8th? Are they available to everybody or just? Okay, so for the first 3 days, members got the tickets. Now there's tickets available for everybody. November 1st and 8th, we're going to be doing a live Jimmy Dore Rumble Time show at the Two Roads Theater in Studio City. So tickets are very limited. There's only 50 tickets available for those shows. On November 8th, we have Roseanne Barr, Dr. Drew already. We're working on some more celebrity guests for November 1st. We'll see what we can do. So also, we're going to be in Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Lexington, and Louisville go to jimmydore.com and just jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Because if you go anywhere else, they're going to charge you more money. Should I read something?
Oh, no, this is...
Oh, okay. All right. We're going to jump over to Rumble. I believe having a substantial percentage of... Hey, I wanted to talk to you about something that actually might surprise you. It's called the Juvent Micro Impact Platform. I have one. I use one. I bought one before they were in advertising. I bought one a year ago. Now, before you start thinking this is just another gimmick like all those shake plates, have you seen those? You know what I'm talking about? You see them all over the place. Hear me out on this. I know there's a lot of junk out there, but this thing is legit. And I don't say that lightly. So what makes Juvent different? It's not some paint shaker from China. This is a device that uses a special micro impact technology. That means it gives your body just enough impact to help your bones, your joints, and your muscles without all that dangerous shaking that can actually mess you up. Peter Simonson, who I had a meeting with, and he explained all this to me. He's the guy behind this machine. He broke it down for me. It's designed to help improve bone health, circulation, and even increase stem cell production. That's right. The thing actually helps your body generate the cells it needs to heal. For $500 off your Juvent today.
What's your name?
Me?
Yeah, you. Yes.
Nathaniel Saxon, sir.
Your name's not Buttfucker3000, you yo-ho. Logging into my court with that as your screen name.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit
Isn't it swell? The memes make themselves. They found a rabbi hole, tunnels and all. There's Jews in the walls. Isn't it bliss? The rabbinical grace soiling the mattresses. Well, let me tell you. If I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle 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 digga digga diddle diddle dum, all day long I'd diddle little bums. If I were a Shmuley man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish Shmuley man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
At this time, more than any other time, you know, revolution is necessary. It is necessary. Not only based on what has happened with the MOVE organization, you know, the babies that have been murdered, you know, MOVE adults that have been murdered, bombs being dropped on us, but past that to what is happening with all black people, so-called minority people, you know, money poor people. You know, this government, as has been said earlier, has waged war on us. But you know, something about us, particularly here in America, we don't really understand that. You know, we don't really know what war is. You know, for black people, for poor people, that people see as good, that they wasn't forced to do, that they didn't do to try to keep black people appeased, you know, and calm down so that black people wouldn't riot. A prison situation is a crystallized example of that. You can make phone calls in prison. They have movies in prison, but they don't have those things because they just want to be nice to prisoners. They have those things because they know damn well if they don't have, you know, people being able to contact their family, if they don't have, you know, facilities for people to sit there and watch movies, people are going to be frustrated, upset, and they're going to direct that frustration at them prison administrators, and they're going to have riots on their hands. You know, they're going to have people in them prisons turning them prisons out. That's why they have movies. That's why they have access to phones the way they do. And a stop to it when we don't like it, or encouraging it when it's something that's in our interest. You know, we have to call the shots. The people have to take the reins of this system and start dictating, you know, what we need, what needs to be done. And, you know, taking the initiative to do it ourselves. We can't rely on this system. I mean, you know, don't people see what's happening? Every single confrontation that MOVE people have been involved in, every single issue, you know, oppression, economic issues, every single issue facing our people, you know, is something that can be dealt with very, very simply. All people got to do is make their wishes known. All people have to do is stand up and say, listen, we're not accepting that. Unity is the key. Unity is the key to revolution. Revolution ain't nothing to be afraid of. It ain't nothing to shy away from. Revolution, contrary to what officials, you know, this system and those backing the officials running this system, you know, want people to believe that revolution means violence, you know, means blood in the street. I'm saying it can get to that point, but it don't have to be violent. You know, when people come together and take a strong stand on an issue, this government don't have no choice but to listen. Where you think they get their authority from? They don't have no power, but they do have authority to do certain things. Where you think they get it from? They get it from us, from the people. You know, they get it from us accepting the things that they do to be done to stop it. Then you have some people who want to then turn around and say, yeah, well, you know, it's the best we have, and want to make excuses. The time for excuses is over. It's over. You know, every man, woman, and child has to be involved in this revolution. Not only has to be, but is, whether you want to be or not. I mean, our babies gave their lives for this revolution on May 13th. You know, men, women, and children were murdered. And not just move babies, you know. What about all of the young men, women, you know, children 8, 9 years old shot down on the street by cops, you know, by drug pushers? I mean, you know, where do you think that mentality comes from? It comes from this system, from the mentality of this system of getting over, you know, making a quick buck, you know. I'm saying that's where that needs to be done to stop it. Then, you know, what I want people to really, really understand is that it's past time. It is past time for poor people, black people, you know, to realize that this system has failed you. It has failed you. You can't get nothing from it. And what people got to do is withdraw our support from it and start doing for ourselves. That's what we got to do. You know, how long are people going to sit back and beg, you know, this government to do what's right when for hundreds of years all you've gotten is a slap in the face? All you've gotten is this government kicking your ass. That's all. That's all black people have ever gotten from this government.